Right. I'm just bleeding all over my phone. Well done.
Nice job.
Cut my. Oh yeah. Stream starts as I start bleeding over myself. No, I cut myself whilst cooking.
Cooking? What do you do?
Yeah. Oh, nachos. But I was like slicing up some tomatoes to use as like a make my own salsa.
Fit.
Anyway, so here we are, round one of the sports car championship.
Oh,
Just waiting for things to get going now. Is the
So, it's currently got
that's fine.
0 viewers, so happy days.
That's fine. So yeah, just waiting on everyone to hop in and get ourselves going. 18 drivers at the moment, split between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's 7 DPs and the rest are all GTs. I think it's this. I think we're looking at a 7-13 split at the moment.
I failed maths, so probably not best to come to me.
I think when the race starts going, it would be a 7-15 split, which would be quite good. All right, yeah, 7-15. Was supposed to be 8-15, 8-14. Nice counting, but these things happen. Right, so we're going to be doing the 1 hour of Daytona. First off, obviously, going to have a quick qualifying session, just a nice quick 9-lap shootout, with then the 10th lap being one for them to just catch their breath on the side of the track.
Wow, seems fair.
Yeah, seems fair.
I mean, I don't think they should be allowed to. Best drivers in esports in OMA. You don't get that. You don't get that in Torah.
Throw shade immediately.
Wouldn't be doing my job.
No, yeah, no. So, like I say, going to be a little bit of a delay now whilst we just get everything all getting ready to go, but I think people are starting to get readied up, which is always a good sign.
Yep, it is. Would be good. Would be good if Brandon could load the circuit so we could, our spectator boys, get ready. But I'll see how it is. It's gonna be a good, interesting one because we haven't streamed.
No, this is the first time doing a GT stream, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So it's gonna have to bear with us as we're making things up on the spot. Normally with TCC we can kind of go back to past memories, but this is season 1 of the Sports Car Championship as well, so it's not like we can even draw back on champion.
I mean, well,
we've done well. Yeah, I was going to say you carry on because I know exactly what you're about to say.
We've had it all week in sync. Theoretically, we've had 2 previous GT seasons where we've had obviously the first season was obviously Stepping Stones, where we had MC Zesty Afro, aka Kieran McKeldin, get a win at Monza, and then season 2 of that we had the absolute pure domination of Callum Hawkins and Luca Townsend in the Nissan GTR, and then obviously it sort of rebranded itself, started fresh for this sports car where we have DPs along with a GTLM class. So it's going to be an interesting one to go on. We could go back on previous potentially GT races, as well as speak about obviously drivers we know about from touring cars, like.
Well, we've got Ali Johnston, obviously recently crowned touring car champion Brandon Roos. He'll be taking part in a BMW GTE. We've got Ali Johnston from the touring cars. Callum Kirkpatrick, who has recently left the touring car championship. He's going to be taking part in this one as one of the Daytona prototype drivers. Going further down the list, you've got Liam Ferguson making a return. Obviously Kieran McKeldin. Other than that, obviously Ryan Powell, Aaron Drury as well, both of those in the Chevrolet for the GT class. All the way down looking at Tom Clarkson, who is Ali Johnston's teammate for the GTs, and is also going to be Ali Johnston's teammate, or part of his team apparently for next season of the touring car as well. He has made that move across.
I was about to say, have you just slipped some gossip there for the touring cars?
It's been revealed. It's all good. But yeah, it's just all good fun, really, isn't it? It's just a case of waiting and seeing it all to get going. I think we're just waiting on maybe one more driver to pop in, but in the meantime, welcome. You know, any conversations you guys want to have in chat, feel free to ask, and hopefully, like I say, first go at the touring cars. Good start. That shows how much I've been doing touring cars recently. Don't first go at the GTs. So, yeah, give us a break, you know.
Oh yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because I don't think OMA is Sotelo. We have raced around Daytona before. Back when we did season 1 of the GTs, if I remember correctly, I think it was Callum again that dominated that race.
Oh yeah, and all the GT series we've done so far, I mean, well, the two main ones especially, both have been won by either Callum Hawkins, SGR UCO, either as a lone entry or as a two-man entry, like when we did the endurance one. So yeah, he's definitely going to be the one to watch.
Especially with his love for prototype racing. Like every time,
it's
his, in my opinion, his series to lose. Because
especially, I mean, he himself has said that he is actually he's actually seen the pace of some of the kind of newer entries, so to speak, such as ART Distinct, Alistair Goldstraw. He's one to watch. He has shown some real pace in that.
Being obviously Barley telling me to ready up, I need Brandon to load the circuit so I can go into spectator camera section because I view the car on board when they're going around while Steve goes into the main lobby itself.
Yep.
So just need Brandon to load Daytona instead of Dubai and we can get going.
There it is. So whilst we're waiting, obviously you see a few, quite a varied grid. You can see quite a few of the Chevrolet, the C7R. I think the Porsche RSR is the other quite popular one. Got a couple BMWs and a couple Astons, I think, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and the lone Ferrari.
The lone Fezzer.
The lone Fezzer, just sat in there waiting to be paid attention to. So I do apologise for missing out on you.
The absolute beautiful car of the Ferrari.
So, just waiting for the last little bit.
And then we can get going for
Real
qualifying.
mixture of cars I can see in front of me as well, which is always good to see. You will notice, actually, it's hard to show it from this angle, but some of the, and I'll show it definitely when we're actually driving around, but some of the Daytona prototypes have actually been rebadged. We've allowed them to be rebadged to a different kind of manufacturer. So I know we've got Kieran McKeldon is in rebadged his Chevrolet Daytona prototype to a Hyundai. You've got the Cadillac with Marcus Ciasco, and otherwise I think you've got the Audis, which is, yeah, there you go, one of the Audis there, Callum Kirkpatrick and Callum Hawkins. And then other than that, I think, the Porsches, sorry, the ART Esports, which is obviously Cameron Singer-Nathan and Alistair Goldstraw. So yeah, pretty much everyone ended up changing their badge. They didn't want to stay as, the Chevrolet or the Ford.
Well, you say that.
Choice, isn't it?
If unless I've wrote it up wrong on the entry list, we have Connor Letford in a Chevrolet racing for Tempest.
Yes. Apologies. Don't think I can see him. There he is. Yeah. Apologies. Yeah, Connor Letford, Team Amazed. He has kept his as the Chevrolet, so that's not too bad.
That's good. Oh, wonder what we could be waiting for.
I think we're just waiting on the final thing, just a last check to make sure everyone is in the correct driver group. So obviously, Forza being Forza hasn't made all the cars 100% balanced. So we've had to apply kind of different handicaps, etc., to make sure all the cars are equal. And included in that is the kind of, I think there's like a 5% handicap on some cars, 10% on another, and 15% on another one. So it's just one last check to make sure that everyone is all in the correct one. But we look like we are getting ready to go. Nice. 19... No, 20 car grid. Apologies. No, it is 19. Good counting.
Good job, buddy.
So... maybe someone wasn't in the right group. Never mind. So, do apologise for the delay. Should all be getting going pretty quickly. Normally, we'd like to say this would run a lot smoother to start off with. Once it's going, it's going to be perfectly fine. But unfortunately, we had an admin go off ill who was supposed to be in charge of the kind of one admin who's in charge of all of the GTs and one admin who's in charge of all the DPs when it comes to race night. And unfortunately, the admin who was supposed to be in charge of the DPs has gone off ill this evening. So it's kind of been a real rush and run around to get a quick admin in to jump into that party and kind of take control of those guys. And I think that's what's caused the minor delay at the moment, which we do apologise for, obviously.
Get well soon, Minogue.
Yeah, get well soon, Kyle. You better anyway. So just waiting on last people to now to ready up again. So I think you just got ready up again, Stephen, if that's all right.
Oh,
also,
yeah,
get ready to spectate again.
Didn't realise anything changed properly.
And that looks like we're going to be getting going. So there is our grid. Looks like it's going to be good fun. So obviously I'm starting towards the back. I'm going to show up in the qualifying list, but I will do the same as I do in Touring Cars. I will immediate drive left, get myself out of the way in the T-Mill safety car, as we can see, designed lovingly by Kieran McKeldin.
At MC Designs. For anyone
at MC Designs. So we can... Let's go down here, shall we? That's going to be a nice view from down here. But, yeah, it's now just going to be a bit of a waiting game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be quite good to see some of these cars come hammering into turn one, actually, so I feel like I've got to go down there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's got to be in it.
It's got to be.
Maybe at the end of the pit lane. See him coming around the bank at least.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, same as always, guys. Any questions, chuck them our way. And hopefully this qualifying session will go quite smoothly. It looks like it's going to go alright. See, once it gets going, it's normally okay. So, you can see that it is a 10-lap session. The way we work it is that the first lap isn't just a simple out lap, so get your speed up. And then laps 2, 3 on to lap 9 are all for qualifying. And then at the start of lap 10, we ask everyone just to pull over at turn 1. And then we can kind of go down and make a note of where everyone has finished. But it's going to be quite exciting to see how the kind of disparities between some of the classes. I know all the DPs are expected to be, I mean, they are almost 100% equal in terms of acceleration, top speed, everything like that.
Yeah.
So they should be extremely close. With the GTs, however, they have got their characteristics.
Yeah, it seems like the Porsche has to be the favourite round here.
Yeah.
Because obviously the top speed that it has been reaching going into the braking zone of turn 1, it has to be the favourite for the race at least. So my bet is on a Porsche driver to win.
I think the only thing from my side of it is that obviously the Porsche drivers obviously will find quite a lot of pace as they go through the bank section, but we know that they're not going to be as quick through the infield. So it's whether the drivers around them, whether the Aston, the Corvettes, even the Ferrari and the BMW, whether they're gonna get themselves in the way, kind of almost keep that position away from that from that Porsche and look to almost unsettle it, shall we say. So we've got the early laps coming in. So as it stands, it would be Alistair Goldstraw actually starting on pole position, but don't take much attention to the out lap as that's expected to be the slow one. Looking all the way down, 6 cars at the moment on dirty laps, therefore will be starting at the back, or at the back of each class, and that is Kieran McKeldin, Wyatt Ockerman, Ryan Powell, all learning new names, Steve Grogan, Tom Clarkson, and of course Brandon Roos. There we go, got there in the end.
I'm still not very good with get names, so this is going to be a new one for me.
I was gonna say you just scream out a gamer tag. I'm sure I'll be able to figure out who it is.
Sounds perfect, mate.
I think I can hear some DPs coming. So here we go. First quick lap time has been set, and it is Alistair Goldstraw putting down a 34.0, 34.1 for. Never mind, 34.1 was Callum Kirkpatrick sat in third place, but. Callum Hawkins has immediately put in a 33.9 to put himself in pole position as it stands. Those lap times are extremely quick between the first 3, quite close actually.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Looking through, that's actually quite close between all of them. I think Kieran McKeldin's still yet to set a clean one, but I'm not sure whether he's... Normally one thing we've seen with Kieran is that he sets quite a few lap times that are quick, but not at that... they're quick, but he tends to just have... one bit where he's just dirtied it. Maybe it's through the bus stop chicane. That's normally the section we're expecting it to get dirtied on the qualifying at the moment. But
yeah,
exactly. Interested to see where he goes from there. Meanwhile, in the battle for GT, top of that one is actually not a Porsche. Currently, that is held by Jordan Coyle in that BMW, followed closely by Liam Ferguson. So you've got a 45.0 for Coyle, 45.2 for Ferguson, and then a 45.5 for Alex Smith. So that's BMW, Chevy, Aston. The top Porsche is actually Ali Johnston down in 15th, which is 7th in class. Very quick look at that. Maybe 8th in class, apologies. Who is sat on 50.3, which I think was his outlap, so won't pay much attention to that one either. But no, early signs though. Callum Hawkins looking at an early pole position is what he's looking to kind of take away.
I mean, kind of expected that from Callum. Like, he has always been my pick for pole across all DP races. He's going to be my pick for pole and win. So
as we say this, so I've just noticed that as we're saying that Callum Hawkins for pole, Alistair Goldstraw goes ahead and puts in a 33.666 to put himself quicker than Callum's 33.7. So those two look like they're going to be up for a big battle tonight.
It's going to be good then.
So that's going to be a good one to watch. Meanwhile, down at the top of GT, it's still at the moment headed by Jordan Cole, but I don't think the GTs are coming through quite yet. Here they come. So top of
Here they are.
So yeah, Jordan Cole's still holding on tight with the 45.0. Liam Ferguson 40. I was going to say Liam Ferguson 45.2 is sat in second, but the pairing of Jordan and Brandon Roos have now put themselves pole position and second place in the GTs with a 44.8. For both of them, 44.822 for Coyle and a 44.850 for Brandon Roos. So not much has been said about those Astons, the BMWs, but find themselves sat currently in a front row lockout. So maybe they could be a car to keep an eye out for. I know that obviously Coyle and Roos are very quick drivers, so can't take anything away from the car, obviously.
No, definitely can't.
See, I think there's only the one car left to actually set a clean lap. Yes, there is, and that is Kieran McKeldin in that Daytona prototype, who currently would be sat at the back of the class, but obviously with the dirty lap it doesn't really matter anyway. And
he's got a good looking Hyundai there.
It is a very well designed car, as these DPs coming through again just to end what was their fourth lap of qualifying, starting the fifth one, and it still looks like it's going to be... Callum Kirkpatrick actually has dropped himself down to fourth place with a 34.0 set by Connor Letford, putting himself in third at the moment. So at the moment it is just the top five in DP of Goldstraw, Hawkins, Letford, Kirkpatrick, and then Ockerman. No real changes at the moment. It'd be interesting to see what's going to happen with Kieran McKeldin. He's improving his lap time. I can see that lap is improving. It's just a case of getting it clean so it'll count for the for kind of being towards the front of the grid. I mean, obviously he'll be starting at the back of his class regardless, but unless he obviously sets a quicker lap time than those ahead of him. As I think there's been a change at the top of GT. No, my apologies. I thought I saw a car come through that was sat in a new 8th place, but I just misread that as just seeing the indicators above people's heads. There's not really much that we can talk about during qualifying. We haven't got any past races to go ahead on and all that. All we can really say is that so far so good for the DPs and as close as they are looking. As I take a shot inside the car, why not?
Sorry about that cough, lads.
You will be. So yeah, still top 3 in the GTs is Coyle, Roos and Ferguson. And top 3 in DP still held as Goldstraw, Hawkins and Letford. No one's really looking like they're going to challenge those top 2, so it does almost... It's going to be interesting to see whether anyone's going to be able to challenge that 33.6 at the moment that is set by Alice Goldstraw. We see more cars coming through. Any early opinions from yourself on how this is looking?
It's definitely looking close. I could honestly see another battle between Mr. Fergs and Brandon Roos again. Sorry, Liam Ferguson. And Brandon Roos, but in the DTs, I think it's going to be a good one. Obviously, you've got the battle at the top between Callum, Hawkins, and ART District. It's going to be...
ART District, which Alice Goldstraw, yes.
Yeah. So definitely going to be a close one this season. So hopefully Callum doesn't have it as easy as he had previous seasons.
No, I think I was going to say when obviously at the end of the last season of the GTs, obviously Hawkins' teammate and real main competitor was Luca Townsend, who I just see pop into the chat. Hey, Luca. But when he announced that he was going to be taking part in the next GT series, we all kind of looked to see who would be that main rival to Hawkins, who would be the one to, challenge him, really, for lack of a better way of putting it. And at the moment, it looks like early signs is he's got a 2-way fight, actually a 3-way fight on his hands at the moment, because Conor Letford's put in a stormer of a 33.8 to put himself right in the fight as well for pole position. So really close between those 3 now. Just 2 temps separating the top 3. And then just a little tiny bit back is Callum Kirkpatrick. And then you've got the quartet of Ockerman, Sinvanathan, Siasco and McKeldin. Not really much of a change at the top of GT at the moment. It does look like Jordan Coyle has got that one pretty much sorted. And, just be interesting to see how, if any changes does happen at the top of there. The lap times between the GTs is pretty close, really, when you consider you've got Jordan Coyle and 44.8 sat in pole, then you've got, again, 44.8, 44.9, when you can see the lap times coming down quite quickly. Just be like I say, round 1, really get a feel for how it's going to go. It's just one of those, isn't it, really?
I think what you say, you just see how it goes. Obviously, you can't really look at Daytona as such for an opening race, because it's just basically one long... Well, it's basically an oval with an infield, which it is. So it's going to be more about the top speed cars outshining the others. Get the calendar
we say this, but I'm really impressed with the lap times currently being set by the BMWs and especially the Chevrolets, because we were expecting those Corvettes to be more handling cars, so we say. So we're expecting those Corvettes to be really battling out for, the... this was the one track you're expecting them to not do so well at, but their lap times they're setting currently are actually quite impressive. And we mentioned the Porsches to be up the top, and they're currently sat in 3 of the bottom 4 positions in the class.
To be fair, I did say race car, not quali car.
So you reckon those Porsches will be better when it comes to race pace?
Comes to race, 100%. Because like I said, they are top speed oriented cars. Well, Forza have made them top speed oriented cars.
We've done our best to kind of whittle them down and make them a bit closer in all regards, but
yeah,
definitely.
So if it wasn't for Forza, I reckon that the Corvette would definitely outshine anything. But yeah, I mean, so I reckon Porsche will come alive in the race, and the Corvettes will have to, and the BMWs will have to fight for their life to try and stay ahead.
It'll be interesting to see the battling that's going to be going on in the infield, especially.
Yeah,
and we were expecting that. Obviously we know the banking is going to be a major overtaking point, but the braking zone of turn 1 especially, it's one that could really, it's all up in the air. It's round one. Let's, see what people can do, and so we'll look at quick check at the lap times in both classes. So no real change at the top of DP. It looked like Hawkins did improve with his 33.719 this time round, but it's still not quite enough to take over pole position. Still sat with Attis Goldstraw on that 33.666. Meanwhile, top of GT, it is still a BMW lockout with the TMS guys of Jordan Coyle and Brandon Roos with a 44.690 and a 44.803. Fergs with 44.9 really looked like he was going to kind of take his... It's like you said earlier, he's going to continue that battle from the touring cars into the GTs with Brandon Roos, and this time Brandon's got Coyle on his side. So I think Ferguson's actually got a teammate of his own, Dave German, which you can see as One Last Samurai on the scoreboard. So you've got the two teammates kind of going 2 by 2. Bit of Noah's Ark going on right there, which is always good to see.
Good old Noah's Ark.
In fact, I say that you've got then Ben Price and Alex Smith, who are the Aston pairing, and then row 3 in the GT. So yeah, it's completely Noah's Ark down there. As the DPs at the moment are on their final qualifying lap, as they're on lap 9. See how those guys are going to get on, and is anyone going to be able to take that pole position away from Alistair Goldstraw up at the top?
If they do, it will either be Callum Kirkpatrick or Callum Hawkins.
Ooh, you don't think Connor Letford's going to be able to jump in TMS and Ace? You reckon it's going to be one of the Fords or the rebadged Audis? Apologies.
I would love to say yes, but I've not really seen much of Connor Letford to big him up, if that makes sense.
No, understandable. Well, they're coming across now. Letford does actually keep 3rd place. It looks like everyone's going to stay as they were. So at the moment, the GT's on their final lap, but confirmation as we wait for Kieran McKellan, just see if he can actually take that away. The lap time is extremely close between all of those guys. But yeah, Alistair Goldstraw is going to hold on to pole position, barring a monster lap from McKeldin, with Hawkins behind him. As all the DPs have sent themselves into turn 1 as they wait for the GTs to finish their laps. That's great to see.
Typical OMA, that. Just absolute yeet.
Hopefully we're all just going to keep out of the way whilst the GT's final laps come in. So, yeah, Alistair Goldstraw, followed by Hawkins, Letford, Kirkpatrick and Ockerman. Then we've got Singer Nathan, Ciasco and McKeldin is the lineup for the DPs. Meanwhile, fight for pole position in GT at the moment is still held by Jordan Coyle, with his teammate Brandon Roos sat in 2nd place, waiting to see these final laps come through for these guys. As I think that some of them are just starting this final lap, some are midway through, and they kind of spread themselves out, the GTs, as they were going around, just to give themselves a bit of clear air. Sometimes, it's the different qualifying styles. Some like to follow, some like to, be on their own. But
I think it could just be, like you said, one of them things. Like, I personally like to follow, because I obviously analyse brake lights, turning movements, and try and listen to engine noise to see when they get on the power. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I remember obviously it working at Silverstone a couple seasons back, following Callum Kirkpatrick. Got me up into 5th. But then me absolutely bottled the race, so that was
of course. Just seeing the GT guys are all coming through now. So top 1 does look like it's going to stay with Jordan Coyle. Brandon Roos in 2nd place. Liam Ferguson is going to be starting row 2 alongside his teammate of Dave German. Then we've got Ben Price and Alex Smith sat through 5 and 6. Aaron Drury and Ryan Powell looks like they're going to stay 7 and 8, and behind them Jamie Brewerton does look like he's going to stay in between the sandwich Porsche of the 995 design, ones held by Tom Clarkson and Ali Johnston. I don't think those two are going to be improving, but it does look like first bonus points of the season are going to go the way of Alistair Goldstraw and Jordan Coyle for obviously setting pole position, so well done to them. And this is where I've said this, and one of the Porsches down at the bottom suddenly sets a monster lap to put themselves up top, but I'm not sure if that's going to be going on. I think they look like they're all stopped, so yeah. Big result there for, well, both the GT leaders. Again, we did not expect to see a BMW at the top of the GTs. We were really bigging up the Porsches, but great result there for Jordan Coyle. and it's just now a case of getting ready for our 1 hour of Daytona. So
looks like cars are backing out.
Yep, looks like it is. So we will hop out of here now, and it will just be a minor delay whilst we wait to get the 1 hour race underway. Very exciting times.
It is. Oh, it's definitely going to be an interesting race, this one.
Yeah, I mean, the early signs are we are going to look at a pretty close battle at the top of, especially at the top of DP. The GT battle could be a mixture. You could expect to see kind of pockets of battling, but the DPs you could almost expect to see almost all of them together the entire time. It's all going to come down to strategy, and yeah, I think we do have a rule where the pit window will close with 25 minutes left on the clock, which is obviously for the way that they see it. So with 10 minutes left in the race, there will be no pitting allowed, other than damages. But we do have a kind of 2 mandatory pit stop set up.
Yeah.
Just to keep everyone in line.
Yeah, exactly. Because reading the Discord server earlier, they obviously do expect the DPs to be able to do one stop easily.
Yeah.
But obviously to make it fairer as such, bring in an actual proper strategy to it, decided to...
Yeah. So otherwise they just go until midpoint, pit, job done.
Yeah.
And we don't want them to do that. You've got 2 pit stops to make. Take your time. Pick your moment. You know, some of the DP drivers I know for a fact will want to go as long as they can on that first stint, pit at the end of it, get ready again for the next round. Whereas there's other ones that will look to pit early, avoid the
battle,
or kind of pit themselves within the gap that there's going to be between the DPs and the GTs.
Yeah, because you don't really want to pit,
because you don't want to get caught in the GT traffic as a prototype.
No.
That's just going to slow you down. And we do have a setup here where obviously once at the halfway point during the race, the class leader, when they hi Rickson, welcome. The class leader, when they cross the line at halfway, then everyone behind them, kind of the top 5, will score bonus points at the halfway mark. So just add a little bit of a incentive as to which bit of strategy they want. If they pit early, could they get themselves in a better position come the end of the race? But they could potentially miss out on the bonus points midway through. So it's not really much else to say than that.
I mean, I'm not sure which one. Like if I was me, I'd probably want to try and go a bit longer, try and get them bonus points, because obviously I'm not the greatest driver in the world. As much as I'd love to admit that I am one of the best, unfortunately I'm probably one of the worst.
Sell yourself short.
So I'd probably try and go a bit longer, try and get the bonus points, and then if something works out in the end, something works out in the end. But I know for a fact if it wasn't for the bonus points, I probably would see myself go not as long as possible, but try and find, if I were to pit early enough, get in front of the GTs, but still try and avoid
the battle ahead and kind of pick up the pieces once they get their pit stops going after battling for so long, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it worked at Road Atlanta GT Season 2. Then I decided to biff it. As I do.
Yeah.
Should have won GTM that race. But it is what it is. We go again. Well, I say
go again, exactly.
Again. I worked every Friday, so
we go again into the commentary box because we don't trust ourselves on the track.
Exactly. But originally I was obviously signed up to be in an BMW rebadged prototype. So it was going to be interesting for sure. Would have been good to battle, get some battling going, but I enjoyed the country a bit more.
Got the call. I said, "Oi, come talk rubbish with me," and you went, "You know what? That's a plan." And here we are.
Plan. It was good.
I think there's just a couple cars who are just changing setups. I think the Porsche is down in. I think it looks like the 2 Porsche 995 design Porsches, there we go, that's what I was trying to say, are just sorting out their setups. I think there's something they didn't quite like on that qualifying, so you can see them just making slight alterations, which we do allow, of course. And you know, when they've got to be driving that thing for best part of an hour, they better have a setup they enjoy and that they feel comfortable in. And yeah, in the meantime, obviously, you guys in the chat get questions. Who do you think is going to win in each class? You know, get those thoughts coming through. Any opinions and anything like that is always welcome.
Things you love to see, eh?
I can see Rickson and Mulzan, you two having a conversation down there, or at the very least waving at each other. Very cute. Do enjoy that.
See, as the links go for, obviously we've got merchandise out there. Go follow our social media pages. Like, follow, retweet. Let's go. OMA trending.
I'm betting on Amazed for DP. Ooh, you can wink at each other as well if you want. Go for it. That's quite an interesting call, actually. Connor Letford for the DP win. Now, sat in a really good position in third place. Really good qualifying. It's all kind of come down to the consistency side of it. And you know, with Will, as I struggle to kind of find the word I'm looking for, but Will, the top two of Alistair Goldstraw and Callum Hawkins, actually end up tripping over each other.
Possibly.
Because of how close they are.
Possibly.
I mean, Letford's time was really good that he put in at the end. You know, I think, you know, considering we were expecting the DP pole position to be around the 44.1s and for it to end up being a 43.6, shows there was a lot more pace out there than we expected. But it's hey, I'm not going to complain. You love to see it.
Exactly.
But Amazed for DP, good shout. It's a interesting call. Obviously, good luck to yourself in that one. Hopefully, we'll see you. You know, the battle for the podium, I think, will be quite a close one between the guys in DP, and I think it's the real fight. Really, is going to look at see what the GT guys can do.
Yeah, 100%. It because obviously majority of them are Tempest, so
well, we've got let's have a look. Row 1 of the GTs is Tempest, row 3 of the GTs is Tempest, and then you've got TMS Jamie Brewerton sat down there in what is 12th in class. So the only thing with Forza is you can't set, even though we've got the bucket groups, and this is, don't mind me, just going to get angry. Even though we've got the bucket groups, I still feel like there should be another, like, one, they should have made it where they're even anyway, and we don't have to create bucket groups. We can literally have the bucket groups being DPs, GTs. That's all we want.
Exactly.
But
so I know there is a setting within the Forza setting section where you could literally split to do a
you can score the buckets independently, and you can have multi-class and all that, and we thought, oh, that'd be brilliant. But then they put it where 3 cars, 4 cars need to have handicaps put on them to make them equal with the rest of them. Yeah. Thanks, Forza. It's really what we needed.
You'd think the
we're not going to spend the entire stream complaining about Forza, just probably 95%.
You're not wrong.
Not wrong. No.
Not wrong.
Would love to be just waiting on the last few guys just to get ready for what is going to be this first round. I'll have a cycle through all the cars as they are making their way around the warm-up lap. Connor says, think Shane will join mid-race and win. Now that, I thought the bet on Amazed for the win was bold. That is something.
Let's see if it'll pull off, Cotton.
Yeah, come. It's a bold move. Let's see if it's yeah. I doubt it, Connor. I love the idea. You know.
I mean, the only way I can see that happening is if his nose power is so strong.
I mean, aerodynamics.
Exactly. The ultimate streamlined nose.
Absolutely. Alright. Looks like just waiting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people just to get ready up. I bet an empty can of Coke. Oh, I'll take that bet. I love empty cans of Coke.
Oh, what about some Epsi Max?
Ooh, love me some Epsi.
Oh. I have some expired M&Ms. Throw 'em my way, mate. Throw 'em my way.
Jizzy loves M&M.
I do. I do. I do. I've got some downstairs, actually.
Go and grab them. I'm sure you got time.
Wait, is it M&Ms? No. Two munchies, actually, that I've got downstairs.
You got ooh, making me hungry now just talking about this. I got a packet of crisps somewhere waiting for me, but I've got some tartan paint to use as collateral. Alright, Ali. I've fallen for that once. I'm never falling for that again. I wish I was joking as well.
I don't know, mate. I've watched the streams back.
Oh no, there was a time in college. Yeah, college. It's not even as if I can even use like primary school as an excuse. Went on this like spirit level bubbles 2 for 1. Yeah, they tried to get me with that one as well. But yeah, they actually sent me to, I think it was B&Q at the time. You get some
good old B&Q.
So when I come in, grabbing us some tartan paint, I was like, yeah, sure. Went all the way over there. It wasn't until I walked inside I went, idiot. So, yeah. It's my claim to, I was going to say claim to fame, but it's not really fame, is it? That's just being...
You being an idiot.
Me being stupid. Yeah.
You're never stupid, Steve.
Who are we waiting for? We are just waiting on Wyatt Ockman, and then we are going to get going for this 1 hour of Daytona. We've got our bets in. Well, I say we've got our bets. I wouldn't call saying Shane is going to join mid-race and win as a bet. I think that's more of a...
That's a good gazillion to 1.
Exactly. He needs... I'm not even gonna mention it. Like, there's no point in even trying to... Oh, here we go. Round 1. There's our grid. So, first 8, all DP, and then, obviously, the rest. And,
the rest.
The rest. So, we will be starting with a rolling start. And, we get the 1 warm-up lap, and then they should line themselves up appropriately as they enter the banking. Interesting to see where Alistair Goldstraw puts himself, whether he decides to go on the left or on the right as class leader. And the same, obviously, for Jordan Coyle.
I know, obviously, when don't expect him to start overtaking straight away, because obviously it's when they hit the line, they then start the racing going for themselves. It's not like we used to do it when you hit the line, everyone goes. We've learned from our mistakes. And realise it's a safer option, especially with a rolling start going into turn 1.
Absolutely. So let's have a quick run through these cars then, shall we? Let's have a look at all these lovely, lovely designs that we've got on show today. Let's see if we've got a decent... Oh, that'll do. Right. So we have the number 950 of Alistair Goldstraw, followed closely by Callum Hawkins, number 1, obviously holding on to the championship lead, or holding on to the championship from the last GT series. Sat in 3rd place will be the number 83 of Conor Letford. Then we have Callum Kirkpatrick alongside, also in the rebadged Audi. The number 20 of Wyatt Ockman in that Rogue Energy. I believe he's kept his as a Ford, actually. So there are 2 people to keep theirs.
Oh,
and then we've got Goldstraw's teammate, Cameron Sivanathan, also number 444. Then we've got Marcus Siasco, the number 3 car. And then in 8th, so back in the class, is the well-painted Kieran McKeldin's Hyundai. And then as we run through the GTs, we've got the BMW of Jordan Coyle, the fellow BMW of Brandon Roos. In Ferguson, and his teammate. So obviously, as you can see in the GTs, it's almost 2x2. Number 52 of Ben Price, the number 28 of Alex Smith, Number 197 there, the Chevrolet of Aaron Drury. Got there in the end.
At least you
then we've got the... I was going to say, and then we've got the... should be the number 94 of Ryan Powell, but he had to hop into the number 16 as the number 94 was not ready on this occasion. The number 44 of Tom Clarkson. The number 183 of Jane Brereton. And then at the back, we have got the number 99 of Steve Grogan. So up to the front as we get ready to start round one. As you can see, they're just getting into position now. Waiting for these guys all to get themselves off. You can see them already, all 8 of them. This is going to be an exciting go. Looking forward to see how these guys will get on.
It's going to be interesting for sure. Oh.
These falls not giving us too bad camera views. Listen, oh, I love it.
Can we have more of this,
and
please, Turn 10?
We are off. So, great start. It looked like for... it does look like Goldstraw got the greatest getaway he could possibly get along with, and he has escaped up at the front immediately. Hawkins is kind of slotting in behind him, and behind them I think I saw Kieran McKelvin going side by side potentially, or was that... I think it actually was Marcus Siasco who went for a big lunge up the inside, so he's got past Nathan straight off the bat. Behind them, big off there, it looks like for Wyatt Ockerman, so he's already found himself in the dirt, so that's not great to see for him. At the front of the GTs, it does look like it was immediately a perfect getaway for Jordan Coyle. Behind him, Brandon Reese, like he is holding up the rest of the pack, so this could be a tactical decision by these guys with the GTs. That obviously got in the bonus of having first and second, look like they're going to partner up, send one away, keep the other one to defend heavily, and see how those guys get on. But that is a disappointing start there for Ockerman. See if he's managed to get himself going. I think he has got himself back on the... Yeah, he's got himself going again, so he's going to be way down off the start, but obviously with the two... with the way the whole... no, as I struggle with the word, with the way the pit stops and everything go, he could find himself back up there.
Again.
So he looks like he may be out of this race then already, as we're just not even a minute in. We have had
there we
one
go.
out. There he goes. Wyatt Ockerman looks like he is out of the race. In fact, it looks like we are looking at a restart, looking at some of the people quitting out. So, if I'm not mistaken, sometimes there is a glitch within Forza in that the Daytona prototype cars actually end up having the same... end up getting a GT cars
racing line,
and so they are unable to, or vice versa. So unfortunately, looks like it's going to be a quick restart. But straight off the bat, there you can see a really promising start though for Goldstraw and Hawkins. Those two got away really well. It does explain a little bit as to why Ockerman did go off at that first bit. Yeah. Whew. Good start. Well, I say a good start. It was exciting to start off with. Really good to see how the GTs got on. You know, the getaway that the getaway that Jordan Coyle got. I do apologise. I'm gonna say this now because I'm so used to doing the spectating and the commentating over the touring cars. My natural instinct is to call out one of the touring car drivers. It's a completely different group here. And I will get there, I promise you.
Same. I'm just here for moral support, Steve. You know that.
Always love some moral support.
You got to.
Can't beat it.
You can't.
But it's going to be a restart. I'll see if everyone's going to get themselves ready up and spectating, etc. again. And I think one interesting one actually was seeing Marcus Siasco in that number 3 making an early move. So he's really going to show his intentions. If he's got a gap, he is going to go for that. He's not going to play the long game. He wants to get up those positions as quick as possible. So watch out for him off the start again. Otherwise, I think that was all pretty, other than Ockerman obviously going off, but now we find out that is potentially due to a good old Forza glitch that we love to see. Thanks Turn 10, thanks Bungie, thanks EA. all the above.
Yep. 343, Codemasters.
Yeah, probably Cody's fault. Let's blame Cody's.
Yeah, can't make a good F1 game. Just affects every other motorsport game.
Exactly.
So,
and
cheers, Codes.
So yeah, just get everyone readied up / spectating. As I look at my commentary booth. There we go. You horseradish. Love it, Ali. Ali, we want to see you got these positions quicker this time, mate. Come on, Ali.
Come on, Ali.
Thanks, babe. Yeah, no worries. Alright, attempt number 2. So, still, obviously the same lineup as they were. And the GT fight actually looked really tight battle as they were going through the infield section there. So I really want to check out how those guys get on. Not going to end up cycling for everyone this time around.
No.
But the... yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see what goes on. You know, we got an early sign.
Beaming it is then.
Please,
please
no,
no.
please.
Lap 1 of 3.
Yeah, so the joy of the joy of turn 10. This race is set up as a 1 hour 15-minute race. So turn 10 goes lap 1 of 3. Perfect. You love to see it. We will be keeping you guys updated as much as we can on how long is left in the race. But
speaking of that, I need to readjust the timer that I set. There we go. Reset. Happy days.
Perfect. So, yeah, still as they were. So Goldstraw, Hawkins, Letford, Kirkpatrick, Ockerman, Simvanathan, Siasco, and McKeldin. I will get these names. Why is it McKeldin's the one I forgot when he's in the touring cars? Come on now.
Which one did you forget?
I forgot Kieran. McKeldin.
You forgot Kieran.
Of all the people, I couldn't remember his name at the back of the line. You know.
I might retire for that. But we just had looks like a lag out.
Let's have a look who is gone. I think we've already had the one attempt, so... Oh, I don't think we have, actually. Oh, possibly. It looks like Marcus Siasco. Looks like we have had Marcus Siasco gone, or is he still in? No, everything is all fine.
Just Forza.
I think it just Ford decided to load something up.
Oh, cheers, turn 10. Also, we like to blame Kyle a lot, so here's Kyle.
Absolutely, blame Kyle. And so yeah, coming through the bus stop, getting ready for the end of the kind of out lap or the formation lap. Some of these camera views at Daytona I approve of, so thank you Turn 10 for actually having some sense in some parts. Not all, but it's, it's a start, isn't it?
Just got a message from Connolly saying it's because he started to spectate. That's why the Forza black screen death.
That's what it was. No, that is fine. That is no problem. Glad you have you spectating along with us, Connor. So you can see them all getting ready to line up. So the DPs, 2x2, looking extremely close back there, and then the GTs just sat behind.
Do you think?
So will it be?
I was about to say, do you think it's going to be Yukio or Distinct into the...
I see Distinct getting a great getaway again, but Yuko looks like he's not been let off quite so much this time. Yuko's going to try and hold it around the outside, but I think Goldstraw's going to hold on to that one under braking. Yes, he is. So, great getaway yet again for Goldstraw. Behind them, you can see Patrick has got his way past Letford. Bailey, sup ladies, welcome. And it looks like otherwise everyone has all got through pretty safely. Meanwhile, in the fight between the GTs, Jordan Coyle has got the getaway he expected. He's move up the inside there for number 113. That is that a move straight away from fourth on the grid? That is a great start, sorry, for... Oh, my mind's blanking. Number 113, that is Dave German making a great start off there. So, Dave German making his way to front of class, so we're now going Chevrolet BMW, Chevrolet is the top 4 in GTs at the moment, with Aaron Drury, the next Chevrolet, just sat behind him. Looks like Ryan Powell actually got a poor start. He's dropped back a few off the getaway. Let's see how those guys get on as they come around the banking. As we go into the bus stop for the first time, it is Goldstraw out in front. Oh, he's got Yuko all over the back of him. Callum Hawkins is really pushing to try and keep up with him off this start. Kieran McCullum finds himself up into 7th off the getaway. Brandon Roos now finds himself 2nd in the GT class. So he's got past his teammate John Cole, who on this second attempt did not get the getaway he could have hoped for.
Sup, ladies? Right, Luca? No, sorry, Bailey. Hello, Bailey. Still a traitor. How are you doing, mate? Oh. It's a good, clean getaway this time. No one off in the grass. No one spinning. Obviously, got Goldstraw still leading the way on the first full racing lap.
Yeah, as you can see, just side by side there, Letford and Sinvanathan as they went through the kink. But I think Letford, a bit of contact between the two, but they've got through safely, and just looking to kind of sweep up through is... That looks like just tucked in behind him was Wyatt Ockman, so he's waiting to see a mistake before him. And Sinvanathan goes a little bit wider on the entrance, and Ockman says thank you very much and dives straight up the inside. Those three, all over each other for the battle for kind of 4th place in DP. Meanwhile, back at the front, Sinvanathan's teammate Alistair Goldstraw still sat in 1st place with Callum Hawkins all over the back of them. So these two, as we were saying in qualifying, really are pushing each other to the limit.
They are.
We're only sat on the 3rd lap, and these guys are all over each other. Meanwhile, battle for GT looks like it is still at the moment being held by German. He has got Brandon Roos all over the back, and Brandon looks like he's going to try and move up the inside as to make the way into the bus stop chicane. That BMW's really got good power on that, but the Chevrolet under braking, as we were saying. Whoa, big slide there from German. We just held that one. That was a close one. Really thought there was going to be contact with the wall then, but German's held onto that one, and now he's got himself sandwiched between Roos and Coyle as they make their way around the banking. Ooh. Black screen of death. Who have we lost? Looks like we may have lost
Kieran McKeldon. It looks like we've lost.
Looks like we may have lost. Yeah, Kieran McKeldon has gone. We've already got a pit stop being made. That looks like Alex Smith has dived into the... Is it Alex Smith? Apologies. Let me just double check here. Trying to check who has dived into the pits. Liam Ferguson has made an early pit stop, so whether he had damage that he had caused himself on his way around, not sure. Either that or he's looking to get out of the battle, and he's kind of putting himself away from that kind of battle that was going on for the top 3 in GT, and is going to try and set some laps on his own in some clear air and see what he can do. Meanwhile, front of DP still being held here by Alistair Goldstraw, with Hawkins directly behind, as mentioned. Kirkpatrick at the moment all on his own in a really good 3rd place here. But we're going to spectate this lead battle for the DPs for a bit, so we can see these two really, Hawkins just trying everything he can to get an inch on Goldstraw.
It looked like he closed so much in that bus stop chicane to get onto the back of Alistair Goldstraw. Looks like he's closing in via the slipstream all the way through the oval. Keep closing in. He's going to get him on the brakes into turn 1. Looks like he's going to go around the outside.
I was going to say, he's gone for possibly a cutback here, but Goldstraw's really setting off nicely to defend that one.
Yeah,
great defence there.
Great defence. But he's going to... no, nice England, Stephen.
Yeah, I was going to say, it does look like Goldstraw's really got his defence down, but Hawkins all over the back of him looking for that gap. So those two, it's a battle we kind of don't want to look away from, because Hawkins is flying trying to find a space, but Goldstraw is not going to give him anything. You can see the different lines as they're making their way through here. Goldstraw's taking a really defensive inside line, and Hawkins just a kiss on the grass there, so that's going to give him a... That's going to drop him back just a tiny bit, so might see those guys kind of calm down a little bit for that battle. Meanwhile, just an update on the battle for GT. It looks like Brandon Roos has now taken 1st place in the class. Looking like a bit of a drop back there, so I'm not sure what happened for Dave German, who finds himself now 4th in class. as Aaron Drury and Jordan Core both got past him as well. Actually still quite close between the GTs, it's quite good to see. Ryan Powell kind of sat in a kind of lonely 7th in class at the moment. He's not quite getting back to the guys ahead of him, but he's kind of doing his own race. Probably find that later on, suddenly out of nowhere, Ryan will find himself higher up, but interested to see how these guys will get on.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone for watching. We're currently just, I believe, 15 minutes in, if I've got that right. I know you've got your timer going there, Stephen.
I have. We are 10 minutes in.
10 minutes in. 10 minutes into the 1 hour of Daytona, so thank you for joining us. Anything you want to say in the chat, any questions, anyone you want to spectate, do let us know, and we'll see what we can do. But we're currently viewing the number 2 of Brandon Roos, who is making his way through the bus stop. He is getting a nice gap back to 2nd place in class, which is his teammate Jordan Coyle. So you could see that he is actually, I was going to say, holding up everyone behind him. It looks like he's got himself a bit of a gap as well. Behind him, you've got Aaron Drury and Dave German sat 3rd and 4th in class. Then you've got Alex Smith, Ben Price and Ryan Powell, who I think is actually slowly gaining on those 2 Astons ahead of him. So that could be something to keep an eye on as the laps come down. And then we've got Ali Johnston in his in the 995 Porsche, holding off Jamie Brereton's Ferrari as they're coming around the banking. So big fights going on through that.
It looks like Brandon Russo is now into the lead of the GTLM class.
Yeah, just saying he's getting away quite nicely there, isn't he?
Yeah. Apologies for missing that, lads. Looks like it's all settled down though in GTLM, apart from maybe not last place. Oh, wish Turn 10 could do things properly. Yep, I can't count, so
it's all good. I will keep following this battle here in GT as the DPs look like they're spreading themselves out a little bit other than the fight for what is 1st in class between Hawkins and Goldstraw. There we go. The battle for 3rd in class actually looks really close here between Aaron Drury, who is holding off Dave German as they're coming into the bus stop chicane. I don't think German's quite close enough to make a move under braking, so he got really close actually under braking. So I think he's slightly got a better setup as they make their way through the braking zone, but all on exit. Looks like he's going to try and make a move around the outside as they're going through the banking. Dave German on the outside here of the 197, which is, yeah, like I say, Aaron Drury. Behind them, I can see Ben Price is actually just dropping off Alex Smith, and Ryan Powell looks like he's getting him into his sights, so that's something that I'm going to just keep one eye on. And yeah, Aaron Drury might have made a mistake actually, so he has dived himself into the pits to get that pit stop out of the way now.
But it looks like we've got Callum Hawkins has got right onto the rear end of Alistair Goldstraw, going around the final part of the banking. It looks like the Porsche
really searching for that gap, isn't he?
He's got that little bit of an extra top speed on Callum Hawkins there. Looks like he's getting a little bit closer and closer, right into turn 1, onto the brakes. Callum's got onto the back of him, and looks like we're about to come across to lap our first GTLM car as well. Could this play a part in the battle?
Quite possibly. So the GTs have been told to kind of just hold their line. Don't kind of
weave about.
The DPs have been told, it's your responsibility to get through safely. Yeah. The GTs aren't going to move out the way. They met one through the kink there. That's not the place you want to meet one. I think they just got through there safely. I think that was Steve Grogan they met through there. But that nearly was a close one, but they look like they've got through okay, and it's just, I think that's Liam Ferguson just sat ahead now, so not sure whether... for a second I thought Goldstraw was going to try and go up the side. Goldstraw went to go to the inside early.
Callum's now into the lead. Callum's gotten into the lead for the first time this race.
Looks like Goldstraw went to make a move up the inside, didn't he, of that GT, and at the last minute realised that was not a gap there. Nope. Should have waited just that little bit, and that is like Hawkins pounce. But these two now going side by side as they make their way into the bus stop chicane. Goldstraw's going to brake just a little bit earlier, trying to get a good run. Great racing between these two. So yeah, that is it. So Callum Hawkins taken the position off of Goldstraw as they make their way through the traffic. We thought they could have a bit of an impact, but didn't expect it to be quite that serious an effect. behind them. Kirkpatrick looks like he's got through the GT or the bunch of GTs quite safely, and now we're looking at, and I think everyone else is getting through okay. Connor Letford, has he made an early pit stop? Because he finds himself quite far back actually on these guys. So
we can't have a car in the pit lane as well, but it could be a GT car, which I believe
it looks like it is.
It was
trying to see.
It was Liam Ferguson. He made another pit stop.
Ferguson has made another pit stop, so unsure whether he's had an issue there. Let's have another look back at the front of GT then. It looks like Brandon Roos and Jordan Coyle has got away from the following pack. But I think most of the following pack actually have been pitting to kind of get their lap times or to get their clean air quite early. So it's going to be interesting to see whether that's like a tactical decision by them guys and see if they'll be able to get back through.
Yeah, possibly. Or possibly maybe some of the GTLM cars have done some thorough testing, realised that doing one medium stint, then a short stint, and then a long stint might be the quickest route. Hence the Liam Ferguson pitting basically quite close together. Just take it as long as possible, get out of the battles, and just take it as it comes.
Quite possibly. I think it's going to be one of those to see what those guys can get up to. But I'd say 8th and 9th still going to be kind of sat there quite safely. Looks like Ryan Powell has managed to get past Ben Price to take 4th in class now. And it looks like Price is going to dive into the pits along with his teammate, which is Alex Smith. So Ryan Powell now promotes himself up to 3rd in class in the GTs after starting down in 8th. Obviously, pit stops going on around him, so he's looking to go for a longer run.
But Alistair Goldstraw has gone up the inside of Callum Hawkins into turn 1, going into the international horseshoe side by side. Alistair, but GT Ryan Powell's just got in the way. It's cut back for Alistair, going up the inside of Callum. And Alistair is through.
They met Powell at a really awkward point there, didn't they?
Yeah.
So it looked like they met Powell as they were coming through the... as they kind of went into that braking zone, Powell actually ended up hanging himself on the outside to let them through, try and not get involved in their battle because they were side by side in the braking zone. And Goldstraw is, again, the lapping through the GTs, these two, that's what's causing the differences. And it's
good to see.
Spicing things up, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Was it? I thought the GTs were going to play a part in the LMP1 battle, because obviously,
absolutely.
Well, maybe not before going into qualifying, but after qualifying, I definitely knew between these top two, obviously, of Alistair and Callum, it would have been
all going to be the way they got through traffic. Really, that's going to be such a massive part of how they got through, and it shows. As we look here at Liam Ferguson, who's got himself up to back into 5th in class. As the leaders make their way through the GT leaders there, I think they got through safely as they got past Roos and Coyle. As Goldstraw still holds that 1st place from Hawkins as they make their way through turn 1 yet again. Well, it looks like Hawkins got a really good exit though, and he's going to try and pull alongside us, go through the quick turns, but no, Hawkins just slits in behind. So still held here by Goldstraw in that ART Esports Porsche. And now we've got Callum Kirkpatrick actually. I think he's slowly gaining on these leaders as they're going through the traffic. Kirkpatrick being on his own is actually getting that affected. So this could be interesting to see how Kirkpatrick finds himself into that top 2 battle. Will he find himself there, or will he end up just... the 1st and 2nd have been battling non-stop this entire time, so this could play into the hands of Kirkpatrick in 3rd.
Or what I like to call it, the Max Verstappen style of things.
Yeah, sat on his own. See what's going to happen in it.
Too slow for the cars in front, but too quick for the cars behind. Yeah,
absolutely. Meanwhile, the battle for kind of midway through the GTs is really heating up as Connor Letford finds his way through this pack, which has got the Chevrolets here of Dave German and Aaron Drury, and then Alex Smith, fresh off his pit stop, just tucked in behind them. Kieran out, unfortunately out of the run-in. It's McKeldon. Looks like not quite sure what happened. We did miss it, but he's dropping off the back. I'm wondering if it was contact or something, because
looked like lag was involved, according to Kieran.
Which is always unfortunate to see, but unfortunately these things can happen. But hopefully we'll see him back next time round.
Yeah, hopefully. Might be...
Still the front two here of Yuko and Distinct all over each other as they're making their way round, and
They just can't seem to leave each other alone.
they can't at all. I think Goldstraw is doing everything in his power to try and escape this battle, and Hawkins is just sticking with him.
It's not letting him.
Going to be interesting to see how it comes to the pit stop strategy, whether the two of them end up pitting together, because sometimes I know Hawkins, as he eyes up and move around the outside as they make their way onto the banking, but under braking, Goldstraw seems to have that one covered. Oh, I thought Yuko was going to try and go up his inside, but yeah, there's not much really that that these two seem to be able to. They seem so well matched all the way round. You know, I thought on that first instance that Goldstraw was going to be the one to lose out more when it comes to the kind of getting through the back markers, but on the second attempt, Goldstraw got through cleanly, and it was Hawkins who actually missed out. So,
sorry, interrupt you again, Steve. But it looks like Callum Hawkins got a perfect run through the bus stop to get alongside him, but it seems to be of the Alistair Porsche top speed again. Once
looks like he's
getting
really
ahead
got
of
something sorted on that setup, hasn't he? As they go onto the banking, he just pulls away just enough. As out of the second place,
Callum's pitted.
Hawkins has made that pit stop, so now sat in second is Kirkpatrick, and that has left a lot of space for. Well, I was going to say that leaves a lot of gap now for Alice Goldstraw to set some quick lap times on his own. How much is he going to get away? That's a rare sight. Marcus is racing. Yeah, let's have a quick look at your boy. Marcus Ciasco, sat currently in 4th place in the number 3. Do it for Dale Cadillac. There you go. Making his way round. Sat in quite a respectable 4th, which will be 5th. I believe actually end up 6th because you've still waiting on Yuko and Amazed, obviously Connor Letford and Callum Hawkins to make their way back through.
It's going to be
another check through.
It's going to be
really. Carry on, sorry.
I was going to say it's going to be interesting to see if Alistair is going to pit this time round, or is he going to let the clean air, or not the clean air as such, but like not the pressure of Callum behind him, push, get that gap, and then pit a couple laps later on, or do you think he's going to pit this time round?
I wonder whether he's going to leave it as long as he physically can, and so we can see a real battle here going on midway through the class as the GT guys are all, there's 4 or 5 of them all real battling on. So you've got got Aaron Drury, Alex Smith, Tom Clarkson, Dave German, and also Ben Price all amongst that one. And you've got Brewerton and Ali Johnson 18th, 19th, and down 17th and 18th in the overall classification. And then sat in 19th is Steve Organ down in that Porsche. How long have we got left as it stands then, Stephen?
We have, according to my time, we have 37 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Alrighty. So I think we see 2 of the DPs pit. Oh, that's interesting. So it looks like Callum Hawkins has pitted a second time.
Oh, double stopping. Oh.
Unless that is my... Nope.
You are correct.
Do ignore me. That is Forza being Forza. It was actually... It was Marcus Ciasco and Wyatt Ockerman who pitted together. Do apologise for that. Forza told me it was Hawkins in the pit. It wasn't. So I thought that was going to be. I thought that was a double, a quick 2-stop there for Hawkins, and then to go to the end. But clearly, I was severely mistaken.
Although that wouldn't be that wouldn't be a bad idea, to be honest.
If they think they can go to the end, obviously he'd be missing out on those bonus points by putting himself purposely behind everyone. But
what Callum could possibly do is wait until Alistair pits, make his second stop. And then
he's clean to the end, isn't he?
Yeah, he went. And that, speaking of pit stopping, Alistair is into the pits. Alistair is in the pits.
So our leader pits. Will Kirkpatrick take first place away from him? Yes, he does. So Kirkpatrick has taken first place on track as Goldstraw pits out of the lead. So for the first time, it is Kirkpatrick leading the way here at the 1 hour Daytona, hosted by OMA. So the Scotsman
Hawkins is staying out. Hawkins is staying out. It's going to be very close on the pit lane exit.
Looks like the teammates are going to be close together as they come through.
Alistair looks like stayed ahead, but he's getting cold tyres. Contact there between the two of the pet.
Looks like
he's stayed
Hawkins
ahead.
did go to make a quick move, but the door just closed on him and they got caught up together. But looks like they've all come through quite safely. So Goldstraw has pitted almost perfectly, and straight back in behind him comes Callum Hawkins. So these two are going to continue their battle on now that there's been raging on constantly. The battle for fourth in DP as it stands is still Connor Letford, who has got Wyatt Ockerman all over the back of him. So those two still going all hell for leather. And behind them, not quite in a position to challenge quite yet, but Marcus Siasco just tucking in behind those guys. Meanwhile, in the battle in GT, so first in class at the moment is still Jordan Coyle. In second is Ryan Powell. Then you've got Brandon Roos and Liam Ferguson back into fourth. And then still the battle is raging on between Alex Smith and looking to go around the outside is the 197 of Dave German. Oh, if he can pull that off, that would be an incredible move as they made their way through turn one. Smith isn't giving him an inch. He's forcing Drury to make an early break, try to dive at the inside, but that is a really well worked move there for Drury, but straight back through. Looks like Smith is going to try and go around the outside as they make the way towards the kink. Is anyone going to back out of this one? Oh, Smith gets ahead as they go through, so really good close battle between those guys, but Smith has gone wide. Oh, massive lock-up as the pair of them made their way through the kink, and that is going to give the place straight back to Drury, but also to Dave German. So those two are now all over trying to through. Quite good battling there between those guys. I didn't think Smith was going to be held on to that one. I thought he was going into the wall when I saw him going off the grass, so well held.
With how close we are to the 30-minute mark, I generally see CK staying out that little longer to get them bonus points. Because I reckon he would have pitted by now.
I think you are right. I think CK is going to try and get himself those bonus 5 points and then go from there.
Yeah, because it would be maybe they're playing it strategically, Con England. They're playing the strategy game for the team points, because obviously you've got Callum Hawkins and Callum Kirkpatrick in CKR, and then you've also obviously got Carmen and Alistair in the ART Esports Porsche. I am going to be quiet because CK has pitted.
Yeah, CK has pitted out of the lead, so maybe he wasn't able to make it the whole way round. Maybe he wasn't going to be able to make it to the halfway point, but so that now pretty much lines it straight back up for these two of Goldstraw and Hawkins to continue their battle for first in class. So interesting there from Kirkpatrick. Maybe he, like we say, he wasn't going to be able to make it to the end on that, or make it to the bonus point mark on that strategy.
He obviously had 2 minutes, so I don't think he would have. It's definitely.
He must have been waiting as long as he could to see if he could do it, but
yeah,
would have been a really good play if he could pull that one off.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, the GTs have really spread themselves out. So Jordan Coyle at the moment just making his way through the NASCAR turn, through the NASCAR banking. Sorry, is first in class, and then just coming into the bus stop now is Ryan Powell, second in class, who is about 6 seconds ahead of Brandon Roos in third, who has got Liam Ferguson behind him. And then there's the battle between Drury and German behind them. But the GTs all kind of spreading themselves out as we're making our way around. The real battle at the moment is still this one raging on between Goldstraw and Hawkins for first in the GTs. In the DPs, apologies.
I feel like this is going to be the battle to watch for the remainder of the race. Like, you can't separate these two.
Yeah.
And obviously the GT spilled. Nice England. The GT field has obviously spread out quite a bit, apart from obviously the back lot. They're quite close together in the GTs, but yeah, it's between Alistair and it is between Alistair and Callum for this race.
Sorry, just noticed Ben Price in the TMS Aston is extremely slow on the top of the bank, and I think he's had a moment. He's going to find himself bottom of GTs as it stands. He's keeping himself up the bank and out of the way, but that must be really disappointing to see for himself, and he's got to make his way the entire way around the oval to get back to the pits. That is not ideal for him at all. That car is in extreme danger, the kind of speed that one's going through. Meanwhile, Goldstraw and Hawkins are finding the GT pack through the kink yet again. Oh, they're really having to, really struggling as they're trying to make their way through that one there. As you got the, they found the battle that's been going on for quite a few laps now. Goldstraw makes his way past Brereton.
And
they both make their way through quite nicely, actually. I thought that was going to be dangerous, but well played by those two. Well, I think Hawkins has got a really good exit. He's going to try and go up the inside of Goldstraw to make way onto the banking, but Goldstraw just slots in front and takes that one back. I thought those two were going to get into trouble then.
Would have, as a spectator, would have been good to see, but it's good to see that they have the talent and skill to get through cleanly.
Oh, absolutely. I was fully expecting those two to come to blows with at least one of the GTs. It looked close at one point as they went through the kink. I think it was Steve Grogan who just pulled himself out of the way. I could have been wrong with that one though. So like I said, I'm trying to.
And we are now at the halfway mark.
Apologies, Tom Clarkson. So we are now at the halfway mark. So as they cross the line this time round, it is 5 bonus points for Alistair Goldstraw. Second is. So Callum Hawkins, sorry, is going to take 3. I think
5.
4th is going to go to Amazed, and 5th for Ockerman.
Right.
So
yeah, I've written them down for you there, Steve.
Perfect.
And I'll write down the GTs now quickly.
Perfect. So yeah, as mentioned before, halfway point bonus points coming in. Like I say, we thought Kirkpatrick was going to try and make his way to the end on that one, but we're now looking at the GTs. Looks like it is going to get those bonus points there for Jordan Coyle. Ryan Powell, actually, I must mention, everyone else has pitted around him. He has held his own and stayed out, and it looks like he's going to get second across the line at the halfway point. So he's going to be bringing home 4 bonus points. He's kind of gone what we thought Kirkpatrick was going to do, because Powell did find himself at one point about 9th in class, so really well driven by him here.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's a quick guy in the touring cars as well. So I was expecting him to do well here, and he's proved me right. He's flying through. He's flying through this field, so it's.
Interesting to see how it comes about after pitting. As we can see, the leaders, the DP leaders, are all over each other trying to take the lead away from each other. I think there has been a change, actually. Nope, apologies. They have gone back to how they were. So, still running as they are. I think Ferguson has pitted again, so I think that might be his final stop, actually. Oh, actually, sorry, I think Ryan Powell has pitted out of second place. He has timed it perfectly. I think he's pitted.
He did. He timed it perfectly.
And Brandon Roos has come from his 3rd in the class as the halfway point. Interesting line out with a bus stop. We do allow, as long as 2 wheels are on the curb, we do allow them across the line. So I think they were just about okay, in all honesty, mate.
Sorry to interrupt you, Steve. While checking the top 5 of each class, Callum Hawkins has got back into the lead of the DP class with Alistair right behind him. Going on. It looks like
they met Brandon Roos through on the entrance onto the banking, and that has given Hawkins the opportunity for the move.
Just as you see, keep saying that rebadged Porsche is just something else in a straight line.
Oh, not a good exit though for both of them as went through the bus stop. I think
slightly worse for Callum as well.
In chat, as Rickson was mentioning in chat about the interesting line at the bus stop, and I was trying to say, oh yeah, no, he just switched to Goat. He was about to crash in tie back zone. It looked like he did lose the rear actually on Goat, in all honesty. He looked like it was slightly sideways, but yeah, I think he just about kept himself out of the wall. But good spot.
He's about to try and go around the outside and get the switch back. But it just looks like Callum Hawkins is enough
not
ahead.
An easy place to overtake through there. I think we've only seen the one move around the outside of that one, and that was made quite a few laps back in the GT classes. No?
It's definitely a good fight to watch.
Ben Price does look like he's got himself back through the pits, and he's trying to get himself back towards the kind of rear of the GT class at the moment, which is really spread out through the pit stops.
And if I'm not mistaken,
it's kind
as
of
well, with they've still got to make, or they've got 15 when it hits 15 minutes left in the counter. They can no longer make their mandatory pit stops.
yeah. So they should have made all their pit stops by that point, hopefully.
Still got the top
So
two
we look at
to make their stops, and they have 10 minutes left until they've got to make their final stops.
Until the mandatory pits are over, yeah. So, GT class, you can see here, Jordan Coyle, who has been running away with this one. He had a bit of a scare at the early point, but he's got away now. Second place in class at the moment is Brandon Roos. Third for Liam Ferguson. Fourth at the moment is Dave German. Where is Ryan Powell? He looks like he's dropped off a bit through that pit stop. But he's got himself those bonus points and then is just kind of gone back into the pack as it stands. So he's kind of almost done exactly what he was hoping for, I think. So
Yeah.
could be quite a tactical play there by Powell, and I wonder if that's going to work for him.
And Alistair goes up the inside of Callum Hawkins into turn one. It looked like Callum ran a little bit deep, and he just opened up the door. Alistair is now back into the lead of this class. What a move! What a move!
Just missed that one on my screen, so apologies for that one. But yeah, as we can see, Alistair Goldstraw has taken first place back away from Callum Hawkins. These two have had such a great fight all race long, at each other's throats the entire time.
There's me in qualifying saying, my bet for each pole, each race is going to be Callum Hawkins. I've eaten my own words.
Yeah, you're eating your words here. But they're about to come up to the back of another one of the GTs. I think that's Ben Price they're just catching up to.
Think so, yeah.
Just a quick spot I got on that one, actually, so I could be wrong. Interesting to see whether he's going to be an issue for these guys as they're coming through. Sorry, that's the GT leader of Jordan Coyle. So Goldstraw and Hawkins have both got through safely, so it looks like they're going to not have an overtake caused by a GT block.
Feels like at the moment this is the only way we're going to see some actual overtaking.
Big, it looked like a bit of a misjudge there by Goldstraw, and Hawkins
Yeah.
is now right on his rear end as he exited the bus stop. But just to confirm, the bonus points that were scored whilst we're just watching these two make their way round. So in the DP class, you had Alistair Goldstraw coming away with 5 points, Callum Hawkins 4, Kirkpatrick coming away with 3, Letford 2, and Ockerman 1. In GTs, it was Coyle 5. Obviously in descending order in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coyle 5, Powell 2, second place, obviously 4 points. Brandon Roos came back with 3, Liam Ferguson second, and I believe it was Dave German who got the final bonus point, if I'm not mistaken.
It was Aaron I got.
Drury got him, and then yes, sorry, apologies. Drury did take that one, and it looked like, in fact, German actually got him just after the line, which was not enough, but you know, those points will end up kind of counting towards the end. Looking through to see if there's any real battles going on at the moment. It looks like GT, like mentioned, is all kind of spread out. Main battle, as we've mentioned quite a few times, is this one here between ART Distinct, Alistair Goldstraw, and SGR Yuko, Callum Hawkins. The pair have been nose to tail all race long, bar the pit stops.
England versus Germany. It's
England.
It's happening all over again.
It's absolutely. Although that looked like a bit of a better line there, but every single time through that, I was going to say he's looking to go around the outside again, but every time he's done this so far, Goldstraw looks like he's got the better of him on the top speed. I wonder whether Hawkins is going to have enough this time round. He's hanging around the outside. This is all going to come down to the braking zone this time. They're coming up to the back of one of the GTs as well. I think that's the Porsche.
Looks like that Porsche's getting ahead again. On the brakes into turn one.
Again, Goldstraw has got that one nailed.
But the really got brakes for Callum Hawkins. Oh, it looks like he backed out.
It looked like he had to back up. Yeah, the GT in front. I think that just put off Hawkins enough to say I can't risk it here. So he's going to wait another lap. But these two again, all over each other, trying to get that. It looks like the bus stop exit may potentially be the point that Hawkins looks to make a move.
Callum's going to have to nail it lap after lap to try and get that little bit closer to Alistair. It's also got to be the final stop as well that's got to come into play, because like you said earlier that the GT could have had something to play with that, so Callum had to back out. But if Alistair pits first, there won't be anything he has to worry about. He could just go straight forward for it, stay ahead, when he makes his stop coming out of the pits. We don't know. But looks like coming onto the banking, Callum got a poor exit.
Oh, a big dive up the inside from Goldstraw on the Ferrari there at Jamie Bruton, and I think that's really put off Goldstraw's exit, but luckily Hawkins looks like he was put off through that as well, so not going to put them in a position for any changes. Looking through, I think everyone else is still pretty much as they were. Oh, Jordan Coyle and Brandon Roos suddenly right on each other in the GT class, so something's gone on here. But Jordan Coyle is now going to hold off his teammate as they come in through. I don't think third in class is anywhere near quite yet. Liam Ferguson is trying to make his way to these two, but
speaking of
this could be the battle to
Callum
keep an eye on at the moment.
Callum has made his final stop of the race, with 5 minutes to go before the pit window closes.
That's perfect, good to know. So, and it looks like Wyatt Ockerman has also dived into the pit, so those two getting their kind of final pit stop done, as is ART Riku, Cameron Sinvanathan. So, interesting to see whether Marcus Yasko is going to. No, he's going to stay out one more lap. But this battle here for what is eighth on the track, first in class, the GT kind of main battle at the moment has really been between these two teammates. There's been points when, you know, at the start, obviously Liam Ferguson found himself involved in that one, but right now it is Roos and Coyle fighting it out for the GT lead, and it looks like they might get caught up with the DPs as they exit the pits. Oh, that was close.
That's close, but it looks like he could have left the door open for Brandon Roos.
As they come three wide through turn one.
Is Brandon going to back out of this fight? Because the Canadians, it looks like he's just threaded the needle. He has got.
God, what a dive up the middle that was.
Oh.
Who was that? That was Cameron Sinvanathan, who just dived through the pair of them as they were under braking. Kept all three of them really well to not kind of make contact with each other, and you know, I thought the teammates were going to collide there. I think
so did I.
There might have been a slight put off between the pair as they went through turn one with the DPs coming out of the pits as well. Or I think Brandon Roos ran a little bit deep there into that left-hander, so that's given a bit of a break now for Jordan Coyle. Behind them, the battle for
Alistair into the pits. Alistair is into the pits, and so is Callum Kirkpatrick.
So where is Connor Letford going to come out then? Is he going to pit here as well?
Connor's pitting as well.
He is.
Pitting as well.
So it's all going to come down to where Hawkins and I think Hawkins may come around the outside here. Oh, it looks up the inside under braking. Hawkins takes the DP lead. What a dive that was. So I think it looked like Goldstraw did make a slight mistake actually as he exited the pits. And that allowed that gap for Goldstraw, and now it's all down to Alistair Goldstraw to now do what Hawkins has been doing this entire race, follow and try and make that move. Third in class at the moment of Marcus Ciasco, so he hasn't made his
got a stop
pit,
to make.
so he's going to have to. He's still got that one pit stop to make, so I believe he's going to make that one at the end of this lap. Otherwise, everyone else looks like they're all okay.
Yeah, he's got 2 minutes to make his final stop.
I should just about have enough time then.
Yeah, he's got to do it this lap.
Looks like Ben Price did manage to get his way back past Steve Grogan for one of the final positions, but obviously all those positions do add up come the end. Still the battle between Liam Ferguson, apologies. No, Ferguson has pitted, which has put Aaron Drury and Dave German battling it out for third now in the GTs. These two look like they've been at each other's throats the entire time. It's been quite an exciting race actually. There's been, you know, battles all going on. The main one obviously between the front pair, but it looks like that little mistake out of the pits and the gap that was given to Hawkins is just enough, and he's now slightly pulling away here from Goldstraw as they're making their way past Steve Grogan across the start-finish line. But this is not what Goldstraw wants to see, is Hawkins getting away ahead of him, so Hawkins run a little bit deep than it looked like as they're just going past another one of the GT cars now. That looks to be Alex Smith, the TMS Aston Martin. Back to the fight at the top of GT. It is still still Jordan Coyle getting away with that one. Brandon Roos tucked in behind, but he's not quite close enough to make a move for that one quite yet. Meanwhile, Drury and German side by side through the banking. Who's going to go out on this one on top?
Marcus has 45 seconds to make his final stop. Otherwise, he
could be interesting to see whether they're going to pull that one off. See, these two here of, I believe these guys have already made their 2 stops. These 2 GT cars here of Drury and Drury and German.
I think
GTs look like they were making quite a few more pit stops actually as this race has been going on, but just noticed that Brandon Roos actually pitted out from behind Jordan Coyle, so I wonder whether Brandon actually, his strategy hasn't quite come to fruition and he's going to need to make one more, and he's had to obviously, because he just suddenly caught up to the back of Coyle there, so I think he still had one pit stop to make.
Marcus is the luckiest human alive. He hit the pit entry at 15:01 left on the clock.
So he has really timed that one perfectly. It'd be interesting to see where he comes out of the pits, whether he's going to be involved in this battle between 6th and 7th in class and on track, which is Simp Nathan, and it looks like actually they're going to get through quite safely. Just got to be careful of this GT just in front of them, the Porsche GT. I think that was Tom Clarkson they've just gone past, but yeah, back to the overall lead and the Daytona prototype lead at the moment. But Callum Hawkins, after spending what was the best part of, well, 45 minutes tucked in behind Alistair Goldstraw, has made his move.
I'd like to apologise for some false information. I've just been corrected by Connor Lease. It's 10 minutes left on the counter for when they can hit window close.
So they've still got a bit more time, am I right in saying that? So a bit more time, is that right, what I'm hearing?
Yes.
I didn't know if there was mic issues then. It sounded like you cut. It does look like quite a few of the GTs are actually pitting now, you've said that. Is that Brandon Roos pitting again? Surely not. That's probably... It's not. It's Aaron Drury. Good old Forza, not telling me exactly who's pitting when and where. You love to see it. The battle for 5th. Still got 5 minutes left. To make a stop. Apologies, so our timer is just slightly off on our side, so we'll make sure we get that fixed for next time round. Next race, whilst we're just obviously having a bit of a kind of lull as the battles look like they've all calmed down, as I'm going to keep an eye on this actual battle going on for the front of DP. Next round of the championship, Stephen.
Next round.
What's next round then?
Cheers, Joe.
What's going to be?
Appreciate that. Next
round
going to
be round 2 of the championship,
Road Atlanta, which is GTLM only.
So
it is 2 30-minute races at Road Atlanta.
Yes. So the GTs only in that one, no prototypes to keep an eye on. A few of the Daytona prototypes guys will be hopping into GT cars for that round. They won't be scoring as part of the Daytona Prototype Championship, however. They'll be scoring as a separate kind of GT entry. So no kind of no downside if you are a DP and you decide not to take part in the GT only race, of course. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they get on with the 2x30. Obviously, a bit more of a sprint. Shouldn't have. It should just kind of be just a slugfest from the get-go, really, as we've seen in the past.
I think mandatory pit stops for the GTLM owned races, but with it being a 30 minutes, effectively a sprint race.
I think there might be I think there might be one maximum, in all honesty, but going off memory, I don't think there are any pit stops.
I know we did last season when we did the sprint races.
Oh, I've just got to say quickly, Callum Hawkins dived himself past the GT beautifully there to just put it in between himself and Goldstraw, just give a little bit more of a gap. So really well played there by Hawkins, but Goldstraw looks like he's got through that quite quickly and is now just trying to get back onto Hawkins. So this battle is not over by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh God no, God no. They've put on a really good show for us to commentate on.
Absolutely.
It's going to be interesting to see what's going to be like in GTLM in 2 weeks' time.
Alright, looking forward to seeing how those guys get on. I just want to point out very quickly that obviously Jordan Coyle getting away massively at the front of GT. Second place at the moment is held by by Dave German. Then you've got Brandon Roos, Liam Ferguson, and Aaron Drury is the top 5. But then another 2 places back, currently 7th in class, Ryan Powell, who came across the line at the halfway point, 3rd.
Sorry, what was that again,
So,
Steve?
Ryan Powell, who at the moment finds himself 7th in class, timed his pit stops and etc. almost to perfection to get 3rd place at the halfway point. So
Third was
big
that,
props there to 3rd place at the halfway point. Yeah. So big props there to Ryan to obviously timing that one beautifully. As we can see, Jordan Coyle has made that pit stop, and it's going to be now seeing how he. I was going to say how he weighs up in terms of Dave German coming through, but he is pitting as well. So now it's going to come down to Brandon Roos, whether he's going to be affected or if he's going to get. As he has Callum Kirkpatrick just come around his outside as they go across the line. But I'm not sure whether he's going to. I think Brandon actually is going to be right on the back onto the back of. Oh, as he goes a little bit wide under braking, so that chance he had to get onto the back of his teammate is over.
But obviously, being on, obviously just winning the OMA Team Nil World Touring Car Championship Season 20 title, you feel like it's going to push him on, urge him on to try and keep catch up to teammate and win the opening round of the GTLM class.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. He's not quite in striking position quite yet, but going to have to keep an eye on that one. Meanwhile, the fight at the front of DPs still sat here. Callum Hawkins got away. Obviously, he got 2nd place at the halfway point, so the 5-point bonus did go to Goldstraw, but right now it's looking like full score here for Hawkins as the two push themselves to the max through the bus stop chicane again.
Can't really take your eyes off this battle, can you?
It's a real struggle to look away. But it's one that I feel like I keep switching through the GTs to see if there is anything going on, but right now it is pretty much confirmed. The only real battle that was going on was between Drury and German for what is 4th, currently 4th and 5th in class.
Chucked up the inside.
Ooh, I just saw that.
Hawkins.
It's now going to come down to the braking zone here. Is Hawkins going to leave him any space at the inside? Goldstraw's
ahead.
definitely eyeing it up.
And
a bit of contact I think that was between the two. Goldstraw definitely stuck his nose in there, but I think he's just backing off slightly to make sure that he doesn't kind of get that position away unfairly. God, Goldstraw and Hawkins all over each other still. These two really do not want to let this battle go. This has been a real slogfest between these. It's going to be a shame not to see these two battling it out next week. Next week at the 2x30 Road Atlanta. But the next race, including both classes, is to confirm
2 weeks' time. That's where I got muddled up. It'll be Watkins Glen.
Ooh,
with GTLM and
Glen,
DPs.
another 1 hour. That's going to be a good one to see. A bit more interesting to see how these guys get on a slightly skinnier track, and it's not quite got the banking, so that's been a major point on this one. These two really throw themselves through that bus stop. The speed through there is incredible.
Definitely more technical than this circuit as well.
Absolutely.
So it'll be interesting to see setup wise what they're going to do, because obviously it has got from turn 1 all the way. Are we doing the bus stop layout? Has that been confirmed?
No bus stop on that layout.
We doing it without no bus stop.
Without the bus stop.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, and all the way from turn 1 all the way down to the long right-hander. Who's going to? If they're going to go for a top speed setup, or they're going to go for a corner setup, or like sector 2 and sector 3.
Yeah, it's
going to be.
There's so many different ways they could take it. It'd be interesting to see how some of these cars get on that we were expecting to do well here as well. So these BMWs, they look like they've got really good top end, which we didn't expect actually. We thought that was going to be a Porsche thing, but it'd be interesting to see how they cope through the tighter sections of Watkins Glen and the kind of. Well, even out. In fact, I'm quite intrigued to see how these BMWs are going to make their way round Road Atlanta as well.
Yeah, run twisty sections of it. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Definitely. Right, quick check back on the DP lead. So it is still Callum Hawkins with Alistair Goldstraw on your screen. The pair of them, they have been like this. I mean, I think this is the furthest these two have been apart for quite a few laps, actually. They have been almost contacting the back of each other, and NASCAR pushing their way through the banking sections all night long. And it looks like a poor entrance, actually, there for Hawkins. So I think Goldstraw's going to get a run on him around the outside through the bank section, but it looked like the Porsche there of Steve. Oh, contact through the. Oh, Hawkins managed to save that one. It looked like there was just a minor bit of contact between the pair as they went past the GT there of Steve Gorgon. And that has given the place to Alistair Goldstraw. I'm not sure. That looked like it was a... Goldstraw looked to go around the outside. Then there was the Porsche on the outside there. And yeah, kind of bit of contact there, but it looked like it all sorted themselves out.
Seems to be like the back of... Yeah, I'm going to quickly back out and rejoin this party. Seems like we're having a few technical issues from Xbox tonight. I'll be back in a minute.
Always good to see, so do apologise for the slight delay there. But meanwhile, this battle's still raging on between Hawkins and Goldstraw as they enter the banking section again. Looks like another Porsche in front of them. Hopefully there won't be contact between the pair of them as they make their way through this time. Round the outside this time goes Goldstraw and Hawkins on the, I believe that was Ali Johnston's Porsche they've just made their way past. Yes, it was.
It was.
So we look to see if there's been any more pit stops. So Cameron Sivanathan has pitted again, so I wonder whether he had damage. So he puts himself now 7th in class at the moment. Still, Jordan Coyle and Brandon Roos are separated at the kind of top of GT, not really in a fighting position quite yet. Ferguson finds himself all on his own here, 3rd place in the GT class. He's driven quite a smart race actually. He pitted quite early to get out of the battle and has found himself now back into 3rd place, and he's kind of held this position quite nicely for quite a while. Don't see anyone getting back to him. Aaron Drury finds himself in 4th place. He had a really long slogfest here with Dave German. The pair look to have separated now, and otherwise it's all kind of calmed itself down through the GTs, really.
Yeah, I think the GT battle was as I expected, to be honest. I expected it to spread out quite a lot. And obviously I wasn't expecting the DP battle to be this close either for the top spot. Because
we thought it was going to be a close battle, but we didn't expect this.
No.
This has been insane between these two. So make the way safely past Ryan Powell, who looks like he just held that inside line nicely to keep out of the way. Hawkins still looking to try and make a move on Goldstraw after the little bit of contact between the pair of them a couple of laps ago is what caused this position swap. It looked like it was a pretty kind of a bit of nothing contact, really. It was where obviously Goldstraw went to go up the inside. Bear with. Okay, everything looks to be sorted. Sorry, but I don't know what that noise was in the background. I think there was a fire alarm in the vicinity, but apologies for that.
Oh, there we go. Seems to be you're back now. So I heard you go quiet, so I went to check the party. Good old, said you were connecting.
Good old Xbox having party issues as per usual. But meanwhile, Hawkins dive at the inside of turn 1 here to take the DP lead back away from Goldstraw. Goldstraw just left that door wide open, and Hawkins said thank you very much and took that one straight back. Looks like Goldstraw's going to try and go around the outside through the horseshoe. Surely he can't hold down. That would be an incredible move if he can make that one stick.
Nah,
they're going to go side by side through the kink. This will be brave, boys. Careful. Oh, it looks like Goldstraw just tucks in behind. What a move that would have been.
That would have been a superb move. I was not expecting him to do anything stupid there, which is kind of good because it could have been horribly wrong, ended horribly wrong. Sorry. And could have both seen them down into 2nd, 3rd and 4th possibly.
Yeah, definitely. It's those two really. I mean, at that point on the track where there's such a long distance away, that could have ended in, well, catastrophe. The pair. I mean, 3rd place at the moment. Kirkpatrick is just about entering the bank, and now these two, not only have they been battling, they've been absolutely flying. As they look like they're getting back onto a few cars in GT again. It looks like they're getting back onto. I think that's Aaron Drury and Dave German.
According to my timer, we have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. 1 minute and 20 seconds left of this race, plus the additional lap we have at the end when the one.
Oh, who's that going wide? That is Cameron Sivanathan going a bit wide through turn 1. I thought that. Oh, and he's lost it. Sivanathan lost it through the turn 1, turn 2, 3 complex. Looks like he's gathered himself, but luckily the GT car that was coming through, which was Liam Ferguson, didn't get involved in that one. but he's got the leaders at the moment coming through, which is Hawkins and Goldstraw still all over each other. Obviously, this Hawkins takes a really defensive line up the inside to hold off Goldstraw. It looked like he was going to make a move on the kink. Interesting to see whether they get involved. Actually, this is a DP kind of the DP car that's sat in front of him at the moment. That Cameron Sinvanathan is obviously Goldstraw's teammate. Be interested to see whether he gets involved in this battle right now. I'd like to say he won't, but we never know. So at the moment, it looks like time-wise, we have got approximately 2 laps left. So this one will be entering the final lap. Just getting updates from our
seconds left
our
on my
timer,
counter.
shall we say?
10 seconds left on my counter. And
that does sound about right.
that is the hour over.
Right, so
2 laps
we are
left.
in the final stage of the race. Then Callum Hawkins has led for quite a few laps now. He was battling behind Goldstraw for lap after lap. He made that one move on the final pit stop, and he now looks to hold this one off. They're approaching some of the DP cars. GT cars. I think that is Liam Ferguson. They're just making their way past. If I've got that right, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the front of GT, still Jordan Coyle is holding on to first place in class. Brandon Roos looked like he was catching up to the back of him, but since getting to him, hasn't really been able to make a move there. Ferguson still sat in a decent third place. Otherwise, the battles throughout, it's been quite calm actually. I was expecting quite a melee, but with quite an open track. It looks like it's been quite safe between these guys.
Yeah, it has been.
Apologies. Turns out the time was just slightly out. There is this lap and 1 lap after. Apologies for that. As our timer, the kind of race director / timer has said, turns out the Daytona prototype guys can't count. So he's clear. So he's been informed of how it was going, and yeah. So it looks like after this, once they cross the line, it'll be the final lap of the race. But as we can see, these guys, they're meeting up with that. Looks like one of the Porsches.
Turn themselves into a
And
Honda and have to cut the grass.
That's really upset the run for Hawkins. Is that going to give Goldstraw the opportunity around the outside as they're entering starting to enter the final lap of the race? This could be the last opportunity here for these two to have an overtake. They've got the GTs to go through here as well as it's going to the slightly tighter bit of the track. I think Hawkins is going to make it okay. Goldstraw's really bravely bravely? That doesn't sound right. Really trying to hold it around the outside to try and make a move. He's going to potentially go for a switchback here, but it all depends on the kind of involvement these GT guys get. That looked closer. I think that was Brandon Roos they just got through, and it's just Jordan Coyle in front of them now.
Could with
really tight battle here.
you could looks like they got ahead of Jordan as well now though, so that's maybe just no more GTs in the way. Just one more potentially lapped GT, which is Alistair's teammate. Forgotten his name. Good job. Carmen.
Yeah, they're just coming up to the back here of Cameron Sinvanathan. Is he going to be getting involved in this battle? I hope. For the sake, this racing has been incredible between these two this entire time, and I really hope that this DP isn't going to get kind of too much in the way.
Same.
But it looks like they're not quite going to get onto the back of him. I think he's just going to stay out of the way here. I think he's. It looks like he's actually pulling out a way out of this one, so it's leaving these two to battle to the line. Who's going to come away with the victory here?
Looks like they evenly matched
Really
on the
good
exit there on the
exit
bus
there.
stop.
So Goldstraw just slip into the slipstream here, looking to try and make a move on Hawkins as they make their way towards the line. I think Hawkins is going to hold on to this one. Goldstraw looks to try and make a move around the outside, but it's not going to be
Can't
enough.
get close enough.
There it is.
That's it.
What a drive, what a race for them. So going back to the kind of front of GT, looks like Jordan Coyle is going to come away with this one. What a race that was behind them.
That was
Looking through, I think the rest of the battles are all pretty much solidified. Really great racing the entire way through the grid.
it has been superb.
Whew. So your winner, after a really long slugfest, does go the way of Callum Hawkins. Kirkpatrick just gets onto the back of this kind of... Oh, Callum, of course you did that. Nice one, Hawkins.
What did he do?
Sorry, Kurt says the DPs are all kind of putting themselves into the wall to celebrate that victory.
As long as they...
the front of GT.
As long as they get back into the correct place.
Yeah, it's all good. At the front of GT, it does look like it is going to stick. So yeah, it does go the way of Jordan Coyle. Second place is go to Brandon Roos. Third place to Liam Ferguson. Third in the end, fourth in class in the end does go to Aaron Drury, followed by Dave German. Alex Smith comes home behind them with Ryan Powell, Shane Brereton, Ali Johnston, and then behind them you've got Tom Clarkson, Ben Price, and Steve Gorgon making their way round to finish up that one. But yeah, there is confirmation of that one though. So after a really long slug battle between Goldstraw and Hawkins, the race win does go the way of Callum Hawkins.
That was...
Anything you want to say on that battle? Because that was a tense fight from start to finish.
What can I say about the battle? It had everything. It had the undercuts. It had the switchbacks. The obviously using slipstream to your advantage. Top speed being a major part. Corner exits. It's just superb battling from the leaders. Really, you can't fault it.
No, absolutely. It was a really good battle from start to finish, and in the end, it did go the way of that man, Callum Hawkins, who starts his we'll say title defence, because obviously he is holding on to that number one. Meanwhile, in the GTs, like mentioned, was headed by Jordan Coyle, followed closely by obviously Brandon Roos and the way back. So really close battle, and hope you guys enjoyed that one. Do feel free to kind of give opinions on how that all went, as it looks like they're all celebrating the end of the race there. So yeah, really close battling by everyone. Really enjoyed commentating on this one for you. And any good last kind of...
It's going to be interesting next week with just GTLM only. Obviously we know Callum Hawkins has signed up for it. A few of the other DP guys have. So it's going to be interesting.
At the moment confirmed is, I did have this written down, bear with me, is Hawkins and Kirkpatrick will both take part in a Porsche, and also Wyatt Ockerman, who we saw come home in 5th here in the in this first race.
It's going to be...
He is going to be taking part in a Dodge, so it'd be good to see a Dodge Viper on the grid.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see where they're going to drop in. Obviously, we expect to see Callum Hawkins straight up there at the front, because he's been quick in every car that he's driven in OMA, and obviously defending this technically, obviously his GT title, so you expect him to be quick. It's going to be
absolutely.
A good one.
As we look on our screens here at the GT winner here for round 1 of the OMA Sportscar Championship is Jordan Coyle. So great drive from him. Just going to exit the race now. So really, really great race all around. Like mentioned, Ryan Powell with that tactical move to go as long as he could in the race to hold on to the bonus point. Really well driven from him. But otherwise, definitely. I think that is that for what is round 1. Be sure to join us in a week's time for what we said would be round 2 of the championship, for the 2 times 30-minute races at Road Atlanta. But like I say, first things first, Callum Hawkins and Jordan Coyle are your first 2 winners. Let's see how the rest of the season goes from here, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting for sure, especially with the battling between Alistair and Callum.
Hopefully Callum and Hawkins and Goldstraw, the battle rages on for the entire season, because that was a real battle, for one of the best battles I've seen in GT racing in at least in OMA history, and hopefully we'll see much more of it. So thank you to everyone for joining. We'll see you next week, and this is us signing off for round 1 of the Sports Car Championship. So thank you very much.
Cheers guys, catch you later.